Greetings, ASA members. Let's start today with some data on various subjects of interest, and then we'll close with an elegy for educators who've been lost to the pandemic. But first, ADE has come up with frequently asked questions about the distance learning plans. And I'm just going to attach a link to those FAQs about the DLPs. And we won't do acronym madness today. Now, in my previous video, I focused on some misleading information about administrative spending in Arizona. And that misleading information is being broadcast by commercials opposing Proposition 208. Since I sent that message out, I received many requests for the source of data on state spending. So I've attached a link in this message, and this link is to a census table, the United States Census Bureau, for 2018 state spending. And I've attached that link, which shows that Arizona is 50th out of 50 states in state spending on administration. It also shows information in there that we're 48th in overall state spending. We're not 50th anymore. We've actually moved up in the world. We're 48th. We lag Utah and Idaho. They're 49th and 50th. And this is the latest data. Remember, it's from FY 2018. Now, speaking of Prop 208, there is an upcoming debate being sponsored by the Flynn Foundation. This debate's in the form of a Zoom webinar. It's free, and here's the information. So there's a link in this message, and you can register. Again, it's free. It's the Prop 208 debate sponsored by the Flynn Foundation and Capital Times, Thursday, October 8th at 8 a.m. ASA member Dr. Risha Vandaway, the superintendent of Tuba City Unified, is participating, as is Representative Joanne Osborne, as is David Lujan. He's in favor of it, the Arizona Center for Economic Progress, and Jaime Molera, you've seen him on the commercials, of the Molera Alvarez Public Relations firm, and he's opposing it. You can see the link in this message and register. Finally, who's open for in-person learning? Who's open for hybrid learning? Who's still all virtual and online? Well, you can see for yourself who's doing what type of learning. I've got a link below in this message, and you can open the blue button on this link. Yeah, it's a big blue button that says County LEA Reopening Tracker, and that will show you just which districts and which counties are open for what type of learning, if you'd like to know who's doing what. Finally, a reminder of our ASA quarterly meeting next Monday, October 5th, 9 a.m. And there's a link in the message, of course. There's always a link in the message. But now let's change the subject completely, and let's look at the human toll of the pandemic. It's been 6 months since Des-Ann Romaine, a New York City principal, died of COVID-19. She was the first known K-12 educator to succumb to the virus that's now killed more than 200,000 Americans. This poem by Catherine Gewirtz pays tribute to the more than 400 teachers, principals, bus drivers, custodians, parapros, coaches, superintendents, and other staff members who have been lost to the pandemic. For those of you who taught English, you will notice this poem echoes Emily Dickinson's Because I Could Not Stop for Death. And here it is. 6 months and hundreds gone. The column of numbers can be counted, but not totaled. When each number was a face that welcomed a child, whether polishing a floor, explaining division, or closing the school bus door. There can be no sum, because each lost part is too vast, too deep to quantify. To the list, one said, grief like this is just too much and overwhelming. Yes, Des-Ann Romaine, the first to fall. She led the ones trying to find their way back. Marie Pino, whose teaching connected generations. Pedro Garcia III, whose gentle hands helped children wrestle down a new language. In New York, New Mexico, Nebraska, Arizona, and everywhere in between. They could not stop for death, but he stopped for them, and not kindly. Let us remember the sound of schoolhouse bells when these souls rang them, and let their dirge not yearn for music. Let us play their remembrance.